Hi guys, my name is Johan from restoration.bike. In this video I'm going to compare V-brakes versus cantilever brakes. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, which is greatly appreciated as always. So with this little interlude out of the way, how do these two brake systems hold up against each other? Let's take a quick look at the contenders, starting with the cantilever brakes. The 1986 Koga Miata Adventure has Shimano XH Trail BR 8050 cantilever brakes. They are operated using Shimano Dior XT BL M700 brake levers. The original brake pads had long been replaced, and I replaced them again with Cube two-piece cantilever brake shoes. The main benefit is these brake shoes are longer and replaceable. And these brakes are the original ones for the Koga and were restored. The Cannondale Killer V sports Avid single-digit TI V-brakes. These brakes are operated using Avid speed dial TI brake levers, and TI or T stands for titanium, which is used in the pivots. These brakes are not the original ones. And the new Avid setup is probably from around 2008, whereas the bike itself is from 1998. And this means the cantilever brakes are over 2 decades older than the V-brakes. So let's compare them, starting with braking power. And correctly adjusted brakes will do their job, and it's no different with these two brakes systems. And both have the ability to lock up the wheels. And so, as far as stating that one of these brakes has less braking power than the other will simply not be true. And even though both brakes can lock up the wheel, how they do so feels utterly different. Naturally, the brake levers you use to operate the brakes are very different. The much older Shimano levers are huge in comparison to the Avid levers, and because they are much bigger, they offer far more modulation or brake feel than the smaller levers of the Avid brakes. That effect is only compounded with the fact that the V-brakes themselves are also much less on and off than the cantilever brakes. And the combination of low modulation, tiny brake levers, smaller wheels, 26 versus 28, and overall more aggressive position with the saddle being positioned much higher than the handlebars has caused me to lock up the V-brakes in an emergency situation and flipping me over the handlebars of the Cannondale. Very easily, I'm afraid to admit. I very much doubt this will ever happen with the Koga. Bigger wheels, heavier bike, upright position, and much more modulation. All in all, it's fine that a race type bicycle has a far more direct brake feel than the touring bike. It sort of fits the characteristic of the bike type, but I have to say that after I hit the pavement, I rely less on the brakes for safety and more on calculating where the surrounding traffic is moving and generally riding in a manner that lowers the risk of getting in a situation that's out of my control. Of all the brakes I've ever needed to set up and or maintain, the Avid V-brakes are the best, and the Shimano cantilever brakes the worst. And they are the worst by far, curse style bad. And the reason why the cantilever brakes are a nightmare is that they consist of many parts. The brake shoes go all over the place because all of the parts that hold them in place can move independently. They don't have spring tension centering screws, which makes the brake alignment process downright difficult. And the cable pulley system is one more thing that needs to be adjusted and is not as straightforward as you'd like it to be. Brake arms don't open without rotating brake shoes because frame and fork gets in the way. And this means you can't easily remove wheels with bigger tires. The V-brakes, on the other hand, are an absolute breeze to set up. They don't fall apart, have a single cable, and both hands are enough to adjust them. With the cantilever brakes, you wish you had, around 5 hands. Then the last part is the aesthetics. The Koga cantilever brakes are more exotic than the much more common V-brakes. And even today, V-brakes are often used as the preferred braking tool for non-road bike that don't have disc brakes. And I like the very retro-looking aesthetic of the cantilever brakes. And I think I like them better than the more plain-looking V-brakes. And it doesn't mean that there aren't some very cool-looking V-brake options out there. So my final conclusion on V-brakes versus cantilever brakes is that there is no clear loser or winner when comparing them, because on both bikes they are properly set up so I can enjoy them, and because they are very much suited for the bike they are paired with. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Let me know your thoughts are between these two brake setups, and I hope I can welcome you again for the next video. Bye for now.